Hey everyone, it's Adam here with Adam So Fun. I'm back. I'm finally gonna get this quilted. I have to admit, it's been loaded for like 2 weeks. So other stuff came up, and I just didn't get around to it. But I've been doing a lot of piecing. I just haven't been a lot of long arming. So we left off. Everything's basted down and ready to start stitching. So I'm gonna stitch the center of this flower. You can't see anything yet. I'm gonna move the camera so you can kind of see what I'm doing. You don't have to be, we're not gonna get you right on the needle because we're gonna be doing design, so I want you to see that. But I have placed this, I have the infinity, so I have a 26-inch throat. I've placed this so I can stitch this full middle flower at one point before I have to start switching colors to move to the outside. And then, so I will stitch this whole center flower, I'll switch colors, do these outer petals that I can, do the final outer petals that I can, and then I'll advance, finish the bottom half, and then I'll bring it all back and finish the top half. That's how I usually do it. So I'm gonna switch the camera around so you can kind of see how I pull out stitches and stuff. Some things I got that I'm gonna need. I like these sew line pencils. This one should be pink, but I can't find the pink refill. I also have white and gray. So right now the pink, and I know it's the pink pencil because it has pink on the top, but it actually has white chalk because I can't find the white pencil. I pulled some rulers that I like to use. Let's see, I have an oval, I have some arcs in different sizes. I have, now this is one of the wave rulers. They make great, I'm gonna be doing feathers in this dream bag. The wave rulers make great spines for those of you who like to stitch the spine or want a specific look. I can't hit the spine when I'm doing feathers. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But if you're someone who needs the line to kind of reference, any of the wave rulers work great. I also have the curved crosshatch template. This was in the ruler of the month kit, I think ruler of the month 5. And this is going to be perfect because it fits a lot of these different curves for these inner petals and the outer petals. So I'm going to be using this one a lot. As always, I got my Versa tool because who knows, you're always going to need it at some point. And I also have the Clover Awl, and I'm going to be using this to help rip stitches so I don't have to get in with my seam ripper. So let me move the camera around and I will be right back. Okay, so I think this is gonna work. I have you set up so you're gonna be moving with the machine. So that's the one bad thing. I'm gonna have to keep moving the machine to where you need to see. But we're gonna start right here in the center section. I wanna do some pebbling in here. I might outline these little petals on the inside. I don't know, I haven't really made a decision. And we'll do it as I go along. But first, I need to take out some of these basting stitches. So I know I'm gonna be working on this inner area, so I'm gonna snip right here. And again, I basted with 5 stitches an inch. And now I'm just gonna use this awl to pull these stitches out. And you can see that they pull out very easy. And this thing has a blunt tip on it, so it's not like I'm gonna rip anything. It does pop into that fabric every once in a while, but it's never terrible. And when I get about this much out, I can pull, and you can see that the bobbin thread. I'm going to snip the side that I can pull, because now I can come in and remove this other side, give this piece a pull, and there's my bobbin. So I have my bobbin, and my top thread up, and I'm gonna put this about to here. So let's see. There we go. And then I'll give that a pull, and there's my bobbin. And now when I'm pulling out the rest of these sections, when I get there, they come out so easy, so fast. And I'm also gonna snip up here and pull a little bit out just in case I go up. I don't wanna pick that piece up. So we're gonna stitch this all in a minute anyway. So it's not like we're rolling back and forth anymore. Give that a little up, pull, snip that, there goes there. There, and make sure my bobbin's up and out of the way. All right, I cleaned my machine. I have a new needle. Changed my thread, so everything's ready to go. And I think for this purpose, I'm gonna get this out of the way a little bit more so I don't Excellent. Go over it. Because I do this a lot, just kind of go for it. So let's say I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to pull my bobbin thread up. And you can see that, I don't know if you can see that, my bobbin is a little bit lighter than my top thread, but they're both in the yellow family, so it's going to be fine. And I do have the infinity, so I have the tie-off button. I tend to over tie off, so I'm going to do some small stitches and then use my tie off. Make sure my machine is set to needle down. And for this part, because I'm kind of making it up as I go, I am in precision cruise, and my cruise is right now set at 175. So if I stop for a second and think, it's not going to just totally gum up where I stopped. So I think I'm going to outline. And I'm just trying to be fluid, and nothing's perfect, because if things had to be perfect, I would never stitch again. I'm gonna get this stuff out of the way, do a little trimming, and some things that I've noticed while I'm going around here. I'm in this weird shaped petal, and it looks like I could throw in a few feathers here and on the other side. So I'm going to do that while I'm here, because you might as well get some stuff done while I'm at the right spot. So now I have my first feathers that I put in there. You can't really see it, but there we go. Can you see that? So now I put my first feather in there. Maybe I'll just stitch like this so you can kind of see what's going on. You do see a lot more relief this way. All right, so now I have my center section that's kind of outlined. I'm going to come back in, let's see. I think I want to do this. What's nice about the Dream Big is that you get to make up whatever you want to do. So now this is going to be my center section, and I'm going to fill that up with pebbles. When I do pebbling, right now I'm at 10 stitches an inch. I'm going to pop that up to like 14, and I'm going to do my cruise up to like 250. Some people like to go to manual mode for this. I personally like these settings. Sometimes, depending on how big my pebbles are going to be, these aren't going to be super small. If they were super small, I do like an 18, but 14 I think is going to work perfect because it's going to give me a nice curve. 250, so it keeps stitching if I have to stop and think. And I'm going to stitch this out. I'll probably speed this part up so you don't have to just watch me for 10 minutes or however long. I tend to go through them pretty fast. But all right, we'll see you in a second. I'll be back to talk. All right, so pebbling is done. You'll see that I was changing lighting and stuff while I was stitching out those pebbles. I couldn't see with the one light that was on, so I had to turn all my lights on so I can actually see what I was stitching out. And I'm gonna say they look pretty good on camera. They're probably not perfect, but I like doing pebbles. And as I was going, you know, there's no path. I just know I need to fill this up. And then I realized, oh, I already stitched this one flower. So I wanted to end right here. So I made sure that when I was putting my final pebbles, they were going to be in there. And now I'm on to these little petals. I'm going to be outlining the rest of them, but in the center, I don't feel like I really need that outline. So I'm just going to do some small feathers in there. I'm going to keep my stitches low because these spots are so small. And I'm just going to try to fill them up. So So there's my first one. Can you see it? Let's see. Maybe I'll echo this one because that's a weird shape. But there's my first one. I'm going to continue this around until, and then bring you back when I use the ruler. I didn't mention I have the Surefoot on, which is why the foot's a little bit taller, and I do have the ruler base on because I'm be using rulers. I like to stitch with it on, but I'm going to do these inner petals really quick, and I will be right back with you. All right, so the center part is done. I'm going to turn that light on. You'll see that oh, look, there's still stuff. I've pulled out some of my basting threads throughout the second layer. There's still a few over here. You can see that the track from where I pulled it out, that's where it was stitched. That will go away. You don't worry about that. I mean, if you scratch it, it'll go away. So this piece I'm still gonna have to pull out, but that's still on the other side. So I'm gonna work clockwise. So when I get there, I'll pull that out. There's a little piece right here that I left in. You can't see it, but because it's going to be in the next section. So I left that little piece, but I made sure to pull out everything that was in the petals that I'm about to do. And right here, you'll see this was the piece that was here. So I stitched it, all right, pulled it out, coming all the way to here. I also clipped right over here. You can see my finger off screen. I clipped, and then I pulled back this way so I could, so I didn't have to pull that string all the way around. Or that thread all the way around, and now I can just pull that out, and then this will come right out. And you want to make sure you're taking your bobbin out. So so we're going to work on this petal here. You can't even see the whole petal, but I can, so that's all that matters. I'm going to use this arc. This is from the arc set. This is arc A4. You can see that there's some blue tape on the ruler, and that's because it has the handy grip on it, because this is one of the rulers I use in class. I'm going to leave that tape on because I'm going to slide this ruler a little bit, so I don't actually want it to stay in place because it doesn't actually fit this perfectly, but I can kind of maneuver the ruler as I stitch and make this work for me for this application. So let's see, get my settings. I want my needle down. I'm using a ruler, so I'm going to change my cruise to 25. And I'm going to put my stitches back up to 10. And I'm just going to go slow and go around this. If I need to shift the ruler over a little bit, I can. And you don't have to be perfect. This is not about perfection. And you also don't have to go as fast as I do. Remember, I have a little practice. And now I'm going to eyeball a 1/4 inch around. So I'm using the edge of my foot to kind of eyeball this. Again, in the grand scheme of things, nobody's even going to be able to tell if that's perfect or not. So there's my first petal with my little border. This is where my white pin comes in, because these ones I could eyeball. I kind of knew what I was doing. I did kind of a half petal in there. But in these bigger, or a half feather, and these bigger ones, I'm going to want to do both sides. So I can't personally hit a stem. If I stitch the stem in, I'm never going to hit it because I start like stressing about it. So I get one of these, and this is the wrong one because that one is gray. Where did my white pencil go? Here it is. And these have some ceramic chalk in them, so it would have come out. But so I'm just going to throw this in here. Can you even see that line? There's a white line now that runs right here. Now that's going to be what I aim for, but I'm going to stitch up one side, come back down, and I do a bump back feather because that's the ones I can do. So let me do this first side. Now I am by no means the best feather in the world, but I like my feathers. I think they look nice, and that's all that matters. All right, so I've done one side, and now I'm going to stitch back and make it look like I hit that stem with all those feathers, and that I'm the best feather in the world. Now I'll come in and do the other side. And there is my first set of feathers. And then I'm going to stitch over to my next place I need to do an outline. And in this case, I think I'm also going to pick up this petal. So I might stitch up to here, outline this back down, come back around, outline down, and then stitch in this one. And then I can finish doing my next petal. So let's see. Will that arc work? I think that arc's going to work pretty nice. And honestly, sometimes I just eyeball this. It just kind of depends on my mood and if I want to get done super fast. Like that. So, but maybe because I'm doing the inside, I need a little help. And in this one, I'm gonna have this kind of, my echo is gonna be my stem. So I'm only gonna do a half. And let's do some ginkgo leaves. So I'm gonna swing out, shake and come back. I was doing these in a class once, and the class students told me this is my booty shaking feather because I shake my booty when I make them. And I said, I can do that. So that is, these are now, and not ginkgo leaves, they're my booty shaking feather. And I'm okay with that. So let's see. This will go here. Go. And I'm going to continue this all the way around. All right, sorry everyone. I just realized I didn't have my camera on for that last petal. I did run out of bobbin right here, so I just pulled back some, changed bobbin, tied off here, and kept going because that happens. You will notice that when I'm using the ruler and I'm moving it, like how I moved it from here to here, I do stop the machine because you only need to hit a ruler once to realize, yes, stop the machine every time. Unless you want to be buying new rulers. I think that one's going to sink in right there. All right, I'm gonna just stitch and I will be back to you when I'm done with the center. All right, so I got to a point where I had to stop because I had basic stitches in and I wanted to pull these out before I went on. I forgot to say, when you're pulling these out, once you get a long tail, if you can see this thread tail right here, if I pull some pressure on this, see how that bobbin's coming up? I did snip it just under where you can see, but if I pull this, I can use this to use my awl to just kind of pull that bobbin thread. And then when it gets long, I can snip it there. And that's also a very fast way to pull out threads. But you don't want to do that. Look, scratch it, it comes out. And then I snipped it right there. This, I can bring my bobbin up there and I'll snip it so I don't stitch it. And that way you're really pulling the bobbin up while you go. And that's where I had put that little hole. Can you see it? No. So I will continue on. Okay, so here is the finished center of my Dream Big panel. So this is going to be my first color. I will kind of run around and see some different angles. You notice that sometimes I use the ruler, sometimes I didn't. Most of my petals, the stems are curved. I feel like I can do a better feather with a curved stem. If they're just straight, I don't feel like I can make them look good. Here I just like, oh, let's make a ribbon and let's make a twist and a swirl. Feathers are whatever you want them to be. I was doing feathers one time and someone's like, that's not a feather. And I said, well, it is because I say it is. So feathers are whatever you want them to be. I can't remember where I heard this, but think about, this is a 6. So if you think about coming in this curve, coming into that spine, making it a 6, or that swoop of a 6, then it's something to visualize to this angle that needs to swoop back into the spine. So when I'm making these, I think like a 6, a 6, a 6, a 6. So my plan is to change threads. I will go out and do this next section and then do the final section. When I have this center part of the panel done, I will come back, show you, and then kind of show you how I advance and do the next part. So, all right. Okay, so now I have finished everything that I can get to at this point. I'm gonna either have to roll forward or back. You could go either way. I usually just roll back as if I were advancing the quilt. I'll finish this area, the bottom part, and then I'll roll back into the top part. You'll see that there's some areas like here that have no stitching in it. I couldn't get to the whole leaf, so when I roll up, I already know I have to come down here and get these areas, so I can pick that up whenever I do the top part. And I did adjust it a little bit because I wouldn't be able to stitch right here at this point, but I knew that if I shifted it towards me just a bit, I could get this big petal here and still get all of these, and then the same thing on the other side. So I shifted it down just a tad so I could pick this petal up. But you know what, just do whatever makes it work for you. It depends on how you load it up in the first place. But I'll advance, and then I just keep going. I'll keep going until it's done. So now I have advanced, and I'm going to finish out the bottom. I'll go do the top, and then I'll come back when it's all done. Hey everyone, so you can see that we have a new addition. This is Little Berry, and we got him in the middle of me filming these videos. So I didn't get a chance to film me stitching out the bottom half of this Dream Big. This is me holding Little Berry while I stitched out the top half of the Dream Big. And what I did, I just finished stitching. I changed colors when I needed to. When I took it off, I added a facing to it and then sent it out to my client. Thank you so much for joining me during this process. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at adamsofun@gmail. Remember to visit me at adamsofun on Instagram and Facebook, and adamsofun.com. Keep an eye out. I'm going to start offering virtual classes since we can't do anything with the COVID. So thanks again. Hope to see you back here soon, and happy quilting, and we'll see you next time. Bye.